The story starts with Lila. She's a young, hard-working woman who works as an English teacher. After marriage, she went through years of domestic abuse from her husband. But when she finally reached her breaking point, she gathered the courage to divorce him. Even after leaving that painful past behind, she still struggled with stress and loneliness. Looking for a fresh start, Leela moved to a new city and got a job teaching English at a local high school. On her first day at the school, the principal introduced her to the history teacher, who was assigned to show her around the classrooms and the campus. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, we meet Jason, a 19-year-old boy living with his family. His household included his parents, a younger sister, and an older brother. Coming from a middle-class background, the family had a hard time making ends meet. Things got worse when Jason's older brother got into drug dealing to make money. Eventually, he was caught and sent to prison. Jason's parents didn't want him to follow the same path, so they constantly reminded him to focus on school and build a better future. But Jason had no real interest in studying. To him, school felt like a burden. He had already been expelled from several schools. Now, just like his brother, he had started dealing on the side to earn quick cash. But unlike his brother, his main reason was to support his younger sister's education and give her opportunities he never had. At school, Lila was busy teaching her students. Jason sat all the way in the back of her class, always trying to stay unnoticed. Outside the classroom, most of his time went into hanging out with friends, getting into trouble, fights, and drugs. One day, when Lila was alone in the classroom, Andrew, the PE teacher, came by. He complimented her unique and interesting teaching style. Leela smiled back and thanked him, and soon the two started a casual conversation. That moment marked the beginning of their acquaintance. That night, Leela called her mother. While talking, her emotions got the best of her, and she teared up. Living in a new city without any close connections made her feel deeply lonely. The next day, after school ended, Jason walked up to Lila. Hesitantly, he told her he needed help with writing. When she asked about the topic, he said it was supposed to be about himself, but he didn't know what to write. Seeing his hesitation, Leela reassured him that he could trust her completely, and whatever he shared would stay just between them. But Jason still couldn't open up and quietly walked away. His behavior worried Lila, so she followed him. But before she could talk to him again, the history teacher stepped in and bluntly said that students like Jason were hopeless. Lila firmly disagreed, telling him that no student is ever completely lost. Lila believed that every student was equal and no one deserved to be overlooked. The very next day, while going through student files, she came across Jason's record. She discovered that he had recently transferred to the school and had a history of poor academic performance. This only increased her concern for him. Determined, she made up her mind to pay special attention to Jason and try to guide him toward a better path. A little later, the students were asked to present the poems they had written. When Jason's turn came, he nervously stood up and began reading. His poem was raw and full of emotion, showing deep pain and honesty. Lila listened carefully, completely moved by his words. After class ended, she walked up to Jason and praised him. She told him that his writing was amazing and that if he put the same effort into his studies, his future could be really bright. Hearing this, Jason couldn't help but smile. It was probably the first time someone had truly appreciated his work. The next day at school, Andrew, the PE teacher, approached Lila and invited her to join him at a pub that evening. Wanting to relax a bit, Lila agreed. That night, the two shared a few drinks and even danced together. What she didn't know was that Jason was also at the same pub with his friends. From a distance, he watched Lila laughing and enjoying herself on the dance floor. Seeing her happy made him want to dance too, but he stayed quietly in the background. After a while, Layla left the pub and drove home. The next day at school, she noticed Jason skipping class and wandering outside. Layla didn't approve of this behavior at all. Later, when he finally returned to class, she pulled him aside and firmly told him not to skip again. She then made him an offer. She would give him an extra 30-minute session after school every day to help him with his studies. To her surprise, Jason agreed right away. From that day on, Layla started tutoring him after school. But over time, Jason's attention shifted away from the lessons. Instead, he found himself constantly staring at her. His admiration slowly grew into something deeper. Before long, Jason began developing real feelings for her, while Lila remained completely unaware.